Hi, I'm Brian with ericksontutoring.blogspot.com. Today we're going to discuss how hot water dissolves salt. So the main reaction here that's going on, or the main interaction that's going on, deals with the breaking of different bonds and then oxygen tends to really like electrons, and hydrogen doesn't really hold on to its electrons too strongly. So the oxygen tends to hug the electrons a bit more in that bond. And the net result is that the part of the molecule with the oxygen tends to be partially negatively charged, and the hydrogen part is partially positively charged because it's given up its electrons. So now what happens between the two is you have your positively charged sodium, and that interacts with the partially negative parts of water, so the oxygen end. And then at the same time, the chlorine ions interact with the partially positive hydrogen on water. And by interacting with water, the salt ends up being pulled apart and thus dissolves. So heat is just a measure of the amount of kinetic energy in a system, and as you increase heat, there's more energy. So you're going to increase the speed at which all these molecules are traveling and interacting. The odd thing about salt is that by increasing the heat, you do increase the rate, but you don't change the amount of salt that can actually dissolve in a solution. So heat increases the process, but doesn't change how much salt can dissolve. This has been a brief discussion of how salt dissolves in water and heat's impacts on the dissolving.